Tonight, our special transmission as a dress of actress Cate Blanchett at the Cannes Film Festival gives a discreet Free Palestine statement. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Aisha Ashraf. It has been 231 days since the onset of Israel's war. Israeli aggression in the besieged enclave today has killed at least 35 Palestinians. 8 Palestinians have been killed in an airstrike on a home in the Nuseirat refugee camp. Women and children are among the casualties. Israeli forces are conducting a military incursion in Beit Hanun in northern Gaza. This city was previously targeted in the initial phase of the war. At the time, Israeli forces had turned the infrastructure into rubble. The Israeli military is bombing it again. Israeli troops are advancing in the residential areas in southern Rafah and northern Jabalia. Intense street battles continue in these areas. At least 30 Israeli soldiers have been injured in these clashes. Israeli media reports the government has instructed its negotiation team to resume talks for a Gaza ceasefire and a potential prisoner swap. This comes as civilian casualties continue to rise at an alarming rate, and there is global outcry to stop the genocide. Media reports say one of the negotiators presented an updated plan during a war cabinet meeting. The Palestine Red Crescent Society has mourned the loss of one of its mental health volunteers. The total number of Red Crescent staff killed since the start of the war is 29. The death toll from Israel's war is staggering. At the time of writing, at least 35,709 people have been killed. A revised report by the United Nations estimates another 10,000 civilians are buried under the rubble. 79,990 have been injured. Israel's death toll from Hamas attacks stands at 1,139. Israel stands accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The World Court has ordered Israel to ensure that its forces do not commit acts of genocide. It has ordered that Israel ensure humanitarian assistance is provided to civilians in Gaza. Al Jazeera has obtained footage from Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza showing Israeli forces removing dead bodies from the medical complex. The video then shows the soldiers loading more than 100 bodies on trucks. Al-Shifa Hospital has been raided multiple times since October. The complex has faced severe damage after repeated attacks, and there have been a high number of casualties. There are conflicting reports on the number of deaths. Witnesses have reported field executions during the raids. These accounts contradict Israeli claims of avoiding harm to civilians and medical staff. Palestinian Health Ministry Director Munir al-Bursh says Israeli forces stole around 120 bodies when it first raided the hospital. The troops disrupted efforts to bury them. Later, Israel transferred around 350 bodies to investigate their identities. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant can face potential travel bans to 124 countries if International Criminal Court judges approve arrest warrants. Prosecutor Karim Khan's request targets these leaders for crimes against humanity in Gaza. Approval rests with a panel of 3 judges. Khan has also sought arrest warrants for 3 Hamas leaders. The US and Israel do not recognize the World Court's jurisdiction. France says it respects the World Court's decision. Germany says it will arrest Netanyahu if he sets foot in the country following the World Court's call to charge him. An advocacy group has filed a 60-page complaint with British police alleging Israel's use of starvation as a weapon of war and causing great suffering in Gaza. This complaint implicates 5 UK ministers. The complaint is filed by the International Center for Justice for Palestinians. It alleges the ministers have committed criminal offenses under British and international law. The complaint is supported by extensive evidence. It contains an 800-page annex containing evidence. There are detailed expert reports, eyewitness testimonies, and accounts of medical staff who have worked in Gaza. The Scotland Yard War Crimes Investigation Unit will review the complaint. The group's director, Tayyip Ali, vows to ensure accountability for suspected war criminals. Australian actress Cate Blanchett has made an appearance at the Cannes Film Festival in a dress resembling the colors of the Palestine flag. The Oscar-winning star is known for roles in Hollywood movies such as The Lord of the Rings. Blanchett donned an haute couture gown with a black front, green lining, and a subtle light pink back. Social media users hail it as a discreet Free Palestine statement. Some critics label it as a mere pageantry, while others praise the subtle message. Blanchett has previously voiced opposition to Israel's actions in Gaza. She's one of 50 prominent figures in the entertainment industry who have signed an open letter calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. UK Deputy Prime Minister Oliver Dowden has visited the United Arab Emirates last week. The trip comes amidst escalating tensions between the two countries. Recently, British lawmakers blocked the acquisition of a leading British newspaper by a UAE-based company. The acquisition of The Telegraph collapsed and led to a proposed legislation banning foreign state ownership of British media. Emirati officials have expressed dismay. They say the UK's domestic politics are overshadowing strategic relations. Last month, the UAE cancelled a number of ministerial meetings with the UK after the Emirati government was accused of aiding paramilitary groups in Sudan. A U.S. news outlet reports the transfer of 11 Guantanamo detainees to Oman has ceased due to Israel's war on Palestine. NBC News reports the Biden administration planned the release of these detainees without any charges. The detainees are primarily of Yemeni origin. Despite a military cargo plane being ready on the Guantanamo Bay runway, the mission was called off last minute. The White House National Security Council describes Oman as a trusted partner. The two countries have been working on detainee rehabilitation. No alternative transfer date has been provided to the detainees. As of now, their status is uncertain. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.